Hey everyone, it's Jananie and welcome back to my channel, This Story Ain't Over. So today I'm coming to you with my long-awaited Chain of Iron reading vlog. I know a lot of you were looking forward to seeing me do a vlog for this, so I am delivering. I know this video is a little bit late, but here I am filming an intro clip for this vlog because I forgot to do one earlier. So when I jump to the next clip, you will understand. I just kind of started vlogging after I was filming, thinking I had done an intro clip, but here we are. This is me after having been destroyed by this. It's a great time. Hear me complain by the end. And I do a lot of fun things in here. There is a Fairyloot unboxing in this video. I do talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Skillshare, so thank you so much to them, and I'll chat about them a little bit more later on. And I do some embroidery and like a little unboxing for a Chain of Iron box that I got, and it's just a lot of fun. So I hope you will enjoy the ride. Hello friends, so I just finished filming that reaction video and it turned out really well, so I'm very excited about it. But now I wanted to show you the inside of the Chain of Iron box that I actually got with the ARC, so that's what the ARC came in. And I thought it was super interesting because it came with some really nice goodies, so I will show them off to you now. So the first thing was these two sheets of like character cards, like they're little you know those puppet dolls that you could put like outfits on from when we were kids? Like it's that type of thing. So this is for James, which is so cute. And then this is for Cordelia, which is also super, super pretty. And I just love like the flowers in her hair and it's just so gorgeous. And there's Cortana. Ugh, love it. And then I also love that on the inside it says, "You never forget your first betrayal." That's the tagline of this book and my heart is just hurting for my babies. And then the other majorly awesome thing in this box is this little embroidery hoop with this quote from the Shadowhunters series. All the stories are true. And then this is the, I think, Voyance rune? One of the runes. And I actually picked this one to put on for my embroidery hoop, but there were other options. And there's also some thread to actually embroider this, so I'm probably going to do this at some point during this vlog. I can't really do it while reading Chain of Iron because I don't have like an audiobook for it, but I am currently listening to The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I will put the picture up here, but it's going super well. As I mentioned, I'm filming this on February 20th, so it's a Saturday, but the day before this, I actually started The Midnight Library on audiobook while I was doing my journaling, so I am like more than halfway through it, and I only started it yesterday, so I do want to also finish that. I think I have 2 hours left of the audiobook at the speed that I'm already reading it at, so I'm hoping that I can do some embroidery while I listen to that. Alright, and then of course this video is going to be going up, I think, on March 6th, so it will be after the Chain of Iron launch event that I'm doing on March 3rd with Hannah from A Clockwork Reader and Emma from Emma Books, and of course Cassie Clare. And I'm filming this before this event has actually happened, so I'm like super excited and I cannot wait for it, but I hope it goes well. And for those of you who are watching this, you already know how it went. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, then I think it's still on Hannah's channel, so you can go check it out, and I'll leave a link down below if you want to go see it. But one of the things that I got for that event is this beautiful teacup set, and just look at that. It is super freaking gorgeous. That's the cup. This is the little saucer, and it has the bee, which is like the symbol of Chain of Iron. And it's just so pretty, and I love like the soft blue. And then the inside of the cup also has the tagline of the book, which is "You never forget your first betrayal." And overall, my fangirl heart is like thriving. So yeah, here we are. Very excited. I'm literally going to be drinking my tea out of this for like the rest of eternity because it's so freaking cool. All right, but before we get into some Chain of Iron reading, I thought I would do a quick Fairyloot unboxing. I believe this is the January box, and I believe I already know what the book is going to be based on the theme, but we're gonna find out. So the theme for January is Greek mythology, and based on that theme, I'm pretty certain it's gonna be lore by Alexandra Bracken, but we're gonna find out. Alright, so the first thing in here is super cute. It's this wooden spatula inspired by Lovely War by Julie Berry, and it's got a really wonderful quote on it. It says, "Did you know food is infinitely more scrumptious when you're in love?" Yeah, it's super cute. I just love like the typography on it, and it's like just carved into it. Super gorgeous. Ooh, okay. So the next thing in here is a book sleeve, and as you guys know, I love book sleeves. Like, can you see my collection of them right there on my shelves? Yeah. So this is a double-sided book sleeve, and it's got a zipper at the top, and it says, "But in a solitary life there are rare moments when another soul dips near yours as stars once a year brush the earth." Madeline Miller. So I think that's from either Circe or Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. They're both inspired by Greek mythology, so it makes sense. And I actually haven't read either of them. I really want to, though. I own Circe, so hopefully I can pick it up soon. And I just love book sleeves so much. They're so pretty, and I just love the feel of them. And I love that these ones have like zippers on them, and they're quite big. So cannot wait to use this. All right, the next thing in here is this ceramic trinket tray, apparently. And so this is the box it came in, and it says Cupid and Psyche trinket tray on the back. Me struggling with tape. Ooh. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. It's so pretty. Oh my god. I actually really love the Cupid and Psyche myth. Not for the part where he's like deceiving her, but for all the parts where she goes to bat for him and like goes to fight for him. I think those parts are really cool. I will definitely be using this to put my jewelry on. All right, the next thing is this little envelope, and let's find out what's inside. Ooh, what does this say? Iron on instructions. Place patch on fabric with embroidery side up. Cover the patch with scrap fabric. Iron over the patch on high heat, but without using steam for about 25 seconds. Enjoy your new patch. I believe... Oh, I wasn't even looking at the front. So it's a beautiful little like Medusa head patch inspired by the cover of Lore, it seems like. And oh my god, that is actually super cute. And I cannot wait to put this on something, just like deflect anyone with like Medusa's head. Anyone I don't like. Very, very nice. That is so cool. All right, next, like with every Fairyloot box, there's 2 tarot cards, and they are characters from, I don't know where, but they are 2 characters. And if anyone knows who the characters are this time, let me know. I'm really bad at recognizing characters from fan art, so yeah, I always sort of need the help. But these are really, really, really pretty. All right, the next thing is this Fairyloot metal bookmark, it says, so let's open it up and find out. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so pretty. What the hell? Okay, so I think it's Athena, it looks like, because it's got like the owl at the top, and she's wearing like her helmet, and she's got a spear, and oh my god, this is so pretty. Like, I've never had a metal bookmark quite like this one. It's got a little brown tassel, which is super cute, and it's got like the little cutout, and it's just like regular gold on the back. It's so pretty though. I love, love, love the art. Oh my god. Okay, so the next thing in here is a art print, and it is of Annabeth and Percy from Percy Jackson, and you can see the Camp Half-Blood like initials on their shirts, and this just gives me so much life. Percy Jackson is just like one of my favorite series of all time. Like, I loved it as a child, and those characters live rent-free in my mind, and especially Percy and Annabeth. So oh, I love this. I'm gonna put this up on my wall. It's super cute. All right, and finally, we have the book of the month, which we already kind of know is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. But let's see how it looks, because I'm assuming this is some sort of exclusive edition. And I'm gonna put my box down. Oh, there's multiple things in here. Oh, okay, I'm gonna pull out the first thing in here, which is a bookmark. Ooh, okay. And this is themed for the month for Greek mythology. It's super cute. I love these Fairyloot bookmarks because they're just the perfect size for me to put in my books, and they're like the ones that I use the most. Okay, and then the other thing in here is the fairy scoop. So this is like all the exclusive information about the things in the box. And then next month's theme is what the future holds. So I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of sci-fi, which is interesting. Ooh, and next month's box is going to have items inspired by Warcross, Vicious, Red Rising, The Lunar Chronicles, and more, which are all series that I love. So I'm actually really, really excited for this. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know. Oh, this is the author letter. Okay, so I don't actually know who the characters are on this art print. I'm assuming it might be Castor and Lore, but I'm not super sure. But there's the ages, which is super cute, and this is actually a really nice print. But on the other side is the author letter, which says, it's a really long one, so this might take a while. Dear reader, have you ever had a book that changed your world from the very first page? For me, that was Dolores's Book of Greek Myths. It was a gift from my mom when I was a very wee Alex, and her way of starting to introduce our Greek heritage to me. The tales of the gods, the heroes, and monsters instantly transported me, and it was thrilling to feel connected to them in some small way. That's not to say that I loved all of the stories. Even at a young age, there was a part of me that recognized how terribly women were treated in many of them, how cruelly they were punished for wanting more or expressing such ugly emotions as ambition, fury, or pride. I want to see them slay their own monsters to venture out into the world on their own quests. I want to change their fates. It wasn't until recent years that I began to recognize the many ways I'd suppressed my own goals or anger simply because that's what I believed society expected of me. Rather than a retelling, lore is my take on a modern myth, one that sets the mythology's tragic darkness and drama in our modern world, and comes at it in a feminist way. I've tried to pack it with all the things I love best: epic twists, romance, and friendships new and old, and while yes, the gods are hunted and there's power and immortality to be had, this is really a story of hope and finding a way through the labyrinth of trauma. Much love, Alex. That is a really sweet letter. And I actually have read lore, and although I didn't really love it as much as I was hoping, I really did appreciate the like feminist aspects of it and those parts of the story and like the empowerment that lore was trying to embody, and just the elements with Athena as well, who is a major character in the book. She's a very interesting and multifaceted character as well. So those aspects I really, really enjoyed, even if overall I didn't love it as much. So yeah. And so now, let's pull out the book. Ready? I'm just trying to make sure I pull it out like the right way. Oh my god! So this one is also wet. Oh my god, look at that spine. What the hell? That is so gorgeous. It's like a snake. So it's just got the eye, and it's just got lore, and it's like very plain. The games have begun and she's playing for her life. I actually really like this because it's very different. Oh my god, what the hell? Look at those bright edges. I'm dying. This is so pretty. Oh my god. That is so nice. Holy shit. Yeah, it says hunt or be hunted on the back. This is so pretty. Oh my god. I love how like different this is from the original, but I think like this spine and this are what make it for me. Oh my god. Okay, let's look at those end papers. Look at them. They're so pretty. Okay, let's see the inside. Look at that. Look at that. It's so freaking nice. The games have begun and she's playing for her life. Do you see that? Oh my god, and there's more on the back, and there's a dust jacket illustration. Holy shit. Okay, I think this is lore and caster for sure on this inside cover. That is so gorgeous. Like, look at the ages. It looks so good. Highly impressed with this. I honestly don't know what to do with myself right now because I like this like inside dust jacket, but I also love the outside. So I think I'm gonna keep this side facing out because I love the spine, but I also really like the naked spine too. But I'm also tempted to just like display it like this so that you can see this. I think that's how I'm gonna display it because I have 2 more copies of this book. One was from an Owl Crate box and one was one given to me by Disney Books. So yeah, I have a ridiculous amount of copies of this, but like they're all super pretty, so I like don't even want to part with them. Yeah, this is where we're at. This is a book collector's nightmare, but also it's a good problem to have. I don't know. This is so beautiful. Like, this is one of my favorite special editions ever, I think. Oh, but that's the entire Fairyloot box. I absolutely loved it, and I'm just freaking out internally. Let me know what your favorite item from the box was. If you watch this part of the vlog, I would love to hear from you guys. But now, let's get into actually reading Chain of Iron. I'm very excited to see how my babies are going to be tortured, and it's just going to be a great time. So let's get into it. Hello my friends, so it's a little bit later and I am about 4 chapters into the book and it's going great. I am probably going to make this a spoilery vlog, so I'm just going to start spoilering here. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers for this book in specific, do not continue watching. And if you clicked on this before watching Chain of Gold, then I do not understand what you were doing. But regardless, I am on chapter 4 and the wedding is happening and I'm feeling all the feels, and Jem has come to play the violin for the wedding. He's like standing outside in the courtyard because he has no place at weddings as a silent brother, but my heart is just aching and I'm just having so many like infernal devices feels, and my heart hurts. This book is gonna give me like a lot of angst. Like I can see the angst coming and I'm excited for it. So I am like on chapter 5 or 6 and they just came to their new house and they're playing chess and there's just so much like tension going on between them, and I just love James and Cordelia like as a couple, and I'm just so excited to see where this book is gonna go because I feel like it's just gonna brutally destroy me, and I'm kind of okay with that. And I'm just like totally frustrated with this whole Grace situation. I've never liked Grace, so I'm interested to see where that's gonna go, but they're playing chess and Cordelia just let down her hair and James is having this look and I just cannot. One thing I'm also finding interesting is that we're finally getting to see more of like Shadowhunter marriages, which is not something that we've really seen in like the other books and like what the ceremony entails and like all the other stuff. So that has been quite interesting. And yeah, this book is just everything I want right now. Like it feels like a Bridgerton book but with like magic and more betrayal and more angst, and I love it. Hello my friends, so it is like a week or so later. I ended up not being able to finish reading Chain of Iron that weekend that I started this vlog, but it is currently Tuesday and it is the day of Chain of Iron's release, and I am dressed up in my Victorian getup for the event today, which actually just finished, and it was so great. I got to meet Cassie and we got to chat about the book, the Last Hour series, Infernal Devices, and we also talked a little bit about like Victorian era, Edwardian era things, and it was just a lot of fun, and Cassie is just so sweet, and I just had so much fun with this event, and I loved, you know, catching up with Hannah and Emma, so that was really nice, and we were all saying how we hadn't yet finished Chain of Iron, but Cassie was saying how the ending has an emotional cliffhanger, which I don't know what that means, but I'm very scared now. Well, she did kind of say it was like kind of like the ending of Clockwork Prince, which does not bode well in any way because I was destroyed by that ending, so I'm excited to see how this is gonna go. I'm probably gonna read more of this today and probably vlog it for you and hopefully finish off this vlog because I just really want to find out what happens to all of my babies in this book. But I'm really excited because I'm about 300 pages in, which is about like halfway through the book, a little bit less than halfway through the book, and things are going insane. Cordelia's father just died, Elias. That's the part I was reading, like, I think last night, and I'm just blown. I kind of saw it coming when he left their house that night and when James had this, like, thought about how he wishes Elias was dead, and I'm, like, so curious to see how the guilt is gonna kind of eat away at James, but he's like determined to find out if he's the one causing these murders and if he's the one who is actually murdering people. And I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen with James and Cordelia's relationship. And I'm also getting like strong vibes of the fact that like Matthew is in love with Cordelia and how he's gonna be heartbroken by the end of this. So yeah, overall it's just like going insane and just can't cope. But I'm so excited to see where it's going. And I am also really excited to see where like the Lucy and Jesse subplot is gonna go, and if Grace is ever gonna like get James to take off the bracelet, and if we're gonna get that like clarity from him again. But yeah, it's going really good, and I'm just loving like all the James and Cordelia bits, like just them, you know, pining after each other, and James like, you know, feeling things for her and then getting his like headaches because like the bracelet charm is working against him. But overall, amazing. Cannot wait. Halfway through. Almost done. So yeah, you're probably gonna get like the granular reactions to this later on tonight or this week, but yeah. Hello my friends, so I just want to show you this little package that came. It was supposed to come before the event, but I got it a little bit later, which is fine. It's a Sipsby box that is inspired by the Last Hours series by Cassandra Clare, which is super, super cool. So it's like a tea box of different teas inspired by the book. So we've got white peachberry jasmine pearls. We've got the Black Lodge. We've got raspberry rose oolong. Ooh, that sounds amazing. I love rose. And Amalfi lavender limoncello. Cute little teas inspired by the book. And then what do we have next? Ooh, this looks like a... Oh my god, that's super pretty. So it says, find the location that inspired your favorite tea. That's super cool. And then we've got this little postcard here. There's no better distraction in this world than losing oneself in books. And it's a postcard. And then this is one of the teas, I'm guessing. Cute. Oh yeah, this is the Amalfi lavender. This is the raspberry rose oolong tea. We've got the Black Lodge. And this is the white peachberry jasmine pearls. Hello my friends, it is a new day and I am so bad at vlogging. I keep forgetting to like make updates, or like I'm reading in the middle of the night or something and I don't want to turn on my camera when I'm not wearing makeup and, you know, do an update. But I'm still reading Chain of Iron and I am making pretty good progress. The book is now out in the world, so the audiobook is now available, which is really nice. So I started listening to that last night and I'm now on page 458. So I have about 200 pages, a little bit less, to read. And the book is going so good and I'm getting all of my angsty feels from it, and I love that because, as you guys know, I love angst amongst my favorite characters. And it's a wild ride. I honestly am enjoying this so much, and I think I enjoy the like parts with Cordelia and James the most, but I am really liking like what's going on with Matthew and seeing what's going on with Alistair and Thomas. I think my least favorite parts are actually what's going on with Grace, Lucy, and Jessie, because it's not really moving along that much. But regardless, I'm like really enjoying it, and I'm just like so curious to know what happens at the end, because Cassie during the event said that it was going to be like an emotional cliffhanger, and I don't know what that means, but I feel like it's going to break me. And she said it was similar to the Clockwork Prince ending, so I'm like, what does that mean? Are my babies gonna like break up? Like, is that what's gonna happen? Like, I just can't deal with that. But before I talk a little bit more about my current thoughts about the book, I wanted to talk a little bit about today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning platform for creative and curious people where you can take classes on a variety of subjects, from graphic design, illustration, video editing, you know, productivity, anything you could think of that you wanna, you know, cultivate a skill in, you can find that on Skillshare. The classes use a mix of video lessons and class projects that you can complete together and, you know, follow along. And there are a lot of resources that each of the classes offers as well that you can draw from. I absolutely love Skillshare. I feel like I've picked up a lot of skills. And one of the most recent ones that I tried out, which you may have seen earlier in this vlog, is embroidery, because I have that beautiful embroidery hoop from the box. And the class I actually want to highlight today is Blossom Embroidery Hoop Art using the Backstitch and Stem Stitch and French Knot by instructor Charlotte Kahn. And I thought that this was a really cool class if you want to get into embroidery, especially because it's like that calming kind of hobby that you can have while doing other things as well. I found that like listening to an audiobook while doing embroidery was just so much fun and a really nice way of relaxing, and I love that I was able to learn more about it and how to do it through Skillshare. But yes, Skillshare is less than $10 a month for a premium subscription, and the first 1,000 people who click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So I highly recommend going and checking out that link and signing up. It does help me out for my channel if you do sign up, and I just think it's super great because you can learn so much on Skillshare. Alright, so now back to the book. So yeah, as I said, I'm like 200 pages from the end. I'm really curious about the ending. But right now where I am, Cordelia's father has died, another person has died, and Thomas has been falsely accused and locked up, and now Cordelia and James are about to enter the Shadow Realm and get some answers and figure out what's going on there. And honestly, I was thrown for a loop there because I honestly thought that James was going to be the killer and that, you know, he was getting possessed, or maybe that he was like, his mind was kind of, you know, getting connected to Belial's as he was killing people. Like, I thought it was going to be some sort of like Harry and Voldemort situation where like Harry was seeing Voldemort kill people. Like, I thought it was gonna be that kind of situation, but it seems not to be, and I feel like there's like an actual other person involved, like not just the demon Belial, or Belial, I can't say the name. So yeah, I'm super curious to see what's gonna happen there, and I'm just feeling so many feels. And can we just talk about the scene when James is all tied up when they were trying to figure out if he was the killer, and so Cordelia was watching him and everyone else was downstairs, and so James wanted to tell her about how he kissed Grace, and he feels super bad, and he also doesn't remember why he kissed Grace in the first place, and he's like confused about that, and like the bracelet is still working on him, but it has a crack now, which I find interesting, and I hope it cracks more and just gets the fuck off. But that whole scene when like Cordelia just like, you know, is like, okay, I want something in return, and he's like, okay, what? And then she's like, I want you to kiss me. I want to learn how to do those things for when I get married again later. And I'm like, this whole situation, just what? And so yeah, that was fantastic. Just the angst, and I just loved it. It was so great. And like just seeing how James is so, you know, desiring of her and so in love with her, even though he can't figure it out, and how his like mind is so muddled by Grace's stupid magic. I still hate her, but I'm starting to feel for her a little bit. I think Anna and Ariadne revealed to Lucy that Grace was actually sold to Tatiana, which I thought was super interesting, that like Tatiana had bought Grace off of her relatives who like couldn't, you know, afford to feed another kid. And the fact that Tatiana was like looking for a specific kind of female child, like she wanted a daughter, but she was looking for a specific kind of one and wasn't satisfied with any of the ones that she found at the Shadowhunter orphanage. So yeah, that was really, really interesting, and I'm wondering what it is about Grace that she saw something in. So yeah, I'm curious to learn more about that situation, and also like what Tatiana's up to with the Iron Sisters, like where she is. But yeah, overall it's going really great, and I know I'm gonna like just get destroyed from all the angst by the end of this, and I just really need to know what happens with Cordelia and James. Like, I just want them to be together and happy, but I know Cassandra Clare is not going to give that to me, which is fine as long as they're okay by the end. Yeah. And another thing I'm really, really curious about is like the whole family tree from the jacket of Clockwork Princess. So for those of you who don't know, Clockwork Princess, the last book in the Infernal Devices, I think the first edition, or maybe all the editions, on the inside of the jacket, it has this family tree of the characters from the Infernal Devices and The Last Hours. And so you see like the different pairings, like Lucy gets married to Jesse and Cordelia and James get married, but Cassie has said before that like you don't know if that's exactly true, or there might be a lot more to those relationships than you think. So I'm so curious to see what's going to happen with Jesse, and if he's going to actually be brought back to life, and if Lucy and Grace are going to figure that out. But yeah, very, very curious and excited. I also wanted to pop in here and talk a little bit about the tea from the Sipsby box. Oops, the tea from the Sipsby box. So this is the Raspberry Rose Oolong tea by Teahead that I got in the Chain of Iron box from Sipsby. I actually don't know how I'm supposed to say that, but it is so good. I've been drinking this for like the past 3 days, and it has just been so nice, and I wanted to get more, but the shipping from US to Canada is insane, so I'm very sad. But I'm hoping the rest of the pack will last me for the next couple days, and then hopefully I can find something similar at another tea shop in Canada. But yeah, I love anything rose flavored, but I actually quite like the raspberry like hints in this, even though I don't usually like raspberry. But yes, this is my tea update, and this one is actually inspired by the Hell Ruel in the book, which is like the downworlder club in the book, and I'm just loving the vibes. Yeah, so I just want to tell you about my new tea obsession, and I think I'm gonna like actually start buying more tea. Like I just really want more, and I want to try more, and I'm not usually a tea person. Like as I said during the live, like I'm really more of a coffee person, but I'm just liking the feeling of tea. Hello everyone, so it's a bit later and I had lunch and did some cleaning up, been listening to the audiobook, and I'm now at page 500 and things are going insane, and James's bracelet just broke, the one that Grace gave to him, and I am freaking out because him and Cordelia like had a moment there and they were getting hot and heavy, and then it just like snaps and Cordelia's like, I'm sorry, but she's actually not sorry, and I'm just freaking out. I just cannot wait. I'm so hoping that like he'll wake up from Grace's spell, but his eyes did go black and like he passed out, so I don't know what's gonna happen there. But it like cut to a chapter with Grace and then one with Lucy and Jessamine, and I love seeing Jessamine. I realized I just really cared for a character in the original series. She was really annoying, but you know, where she ends up at the end as a ghost, like I felt so bad for her, and just seeing her in this series is kind of nice. But yes, I am losing my mind over, you know, the bracelet breaking, and I just need Cordelia and James to be together, like right now. Hi, I just want to come back and talk about how Thomas and Alistair getting together was perfect, and I completely forgot to, you know, jump in and say that when it happened before the whole James and Cordelia thing, but just them like confessing about how they feel, and like, you know, Thomas asking like, are you like me? That was like so great, and just Alistair kind of being self-deprecating and self-loathing was just, oh, so sweet. I just love the two of them. Like, I would love to see them together. I know they have like a lot of history though of like from what Alistair has done, but still love them together. Hello my friends, so it's a little bit later and it's like 3:30ish now, but I've done a lot of reading and journaling and other things, but I'm on chapter 25 right now. I have about like 100 pages left and I'm losing my mind. We have just discovered, well, we had the whole showdown with Belial in Jesse's body, which we learned was the killer. Jesse is the killer, that's why people recognized him, and Belial had imbued some of his demonic energy into Jesse via the warlock Emmanuel Gaunt. I forget his last name. But regardless, imbued his energy into Jesse when he was a child, hence why he died from, you know, putting a rune on him because he had demonic energy on him, and is now possessing Jesse during the day to kill people. And I am losing my mind. And, you know, was also making Jesse stronger by stealing runes from the people he killed and transferring them with the Pithos onto his skin. And it's wild. And Lucy figures this out just before, like, we actually get Belial showing up in Jesse's body. And this is just insane. I am loving it. I am very curious to see how this is going to go, and I have a feeling that it's not going to end well for Lucy or Grace or anyone really, but we're going to see how this goes. Hello everyone, I'm here to tell you another update. Lilith showed up and we just got the reveal that she was the one, you know, dressing up or pretending to be Magnus. She had like transformed herself, shapeshifted. And she also shapeshifted to make herself look like Waylon the Smith. And Cordelia got played, and Cordelia is now her paladin, but apparently Belial can't fight against the paladin of Lilith. Like she's somehow immune to his powers, I think. And shit is hitting the fan, yeah? And I love all of the twists here. I'm just enjoying the time. I've reached the part where Tatiana has told Grace to seduce her brother, Jesse, and make him come with her and be with Tatiana. And this is madness. Lucy has brought Jesse back to life and has left with Malcolm and Jesse, and Grace now is coming to James, who has just accidentally told Cordelia that he does not feel the way he feels about Grace for Cordelia. Like basically told her that he does not love her when he means to say that he loves her because he doesn't love Grace, and he's now realized that. And now Grace has shown up at the door at the end of the chapter, and I know she's gonna do something to change that, and you know, Cordelia is waiting in her bedroom for James to show up and explain things, and I can already see where this is going, and it's just, my heart is just breaking, and sadness. Okay, so it is like 5 p.m. and I've finally finished Chain of Iron, and Cassie was right. That ending was an emotional cliffhanger, and I just cannot right now with this book. So I mentioned how Grace had came by, and James basically like wanted to keep her in the house to like confront her and get the truth out of her, and then, you know, sends to get the clave to pick her up and put her away. But in the meantime, Cordelia saw him with Grace and, you know, gets upset and runs away to Matthew, who is obviously in love with her and who now wants to go off to Paris, and decides to take Cordelia with him and confess his love also at the same time, because why not? But when she's in this vulnerable state, and also he is in a vulnerable state, and everyone's in a vulnerable state, and I just cannot. And James is like, you know, after having dealt with Grace, is like coming to see Cordelia and like doesn't find her there, and then is going out to find her and, you know, tracks her to Matthew's place and finds out from like the porter that Matthew's gone off with like a girl, and then he's like, that's my wife, and then they're all like, well, this is awkward. And then he gets the letter, and I just wanted to like throw the book against the wall at that letter, and you know, James is just like, he wanted to throttle Matthew, and I was like, same, dude. And I feel so bad for James because, like, as he was like saying when he was confronting Grace, that like he had lost so many years of his life to her spell on him, and to that bracelet being on him, and to the fact that he believed in some vague sense that he loved Grace, but you know, that had shattered the love that he had for Cordelia as a young child, like at 14, and that he had spent so much time under her spell that it kind of formed this fog over his mind, that he was like, so that he didn't even realize, like, when Matthew was trying to tell him that he didn't really love Grace, like, he couldn't understand that, and he lost so much of his life to this stupid curse, or this stupid spell. And it just reminds me of how, like, Will, you know, lost so many years of his life thinking that he, you know, couldn't let people love him, and I just, holy shit, and just, oh, it's just so frustrating, and I want to like throw the book at the wall. And it was actually also interesting because I was listening to the audiobook while following along on the arc, and there's quite a few parts that are a little bit different in that final chapter. So I was listening to it and it wasn't matching up, and I was like, what? But it was just like a few extra things and slightly worded things that I guess were like last minute changes. But yeah, that was freaking insane, and I honestly don't know how I feel about that ending, because like now Cordelia and Matthew have run off for like 2 weeks, and you know, Cordelia is like, she always wanted someone to love her, and now she's kind of considering this whole Matthew business and thinking that James doesn't love her, and I literally can't, and Yeah. So, and Lucy has also gone off with Malcolm, and so Will has found out about this, and so he's now trying to figure out what to do and go find his daughter, and it is this whole like shit fest, and I just can't. So that was Chain of Iron. This is just my face like the entire time reading. Also, sorry I didn't live record me reading the end. I forgot because I was just getting so frustrated. I don't know how I feel about this ending. I'm very frustrated and very angry, but I'm happy at least that James is not under Grace's spell anymore. Like, I'm happy about that. And now he just has to clear up the understanding, and like to a certain extent now he's gonna be the one in torment in the third book, and Cordelia is gonna be like the one not knowing what's going on. Yeah, I just want to throw something, most likely the book. I want to throw the book at the wall, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try not to. Yes, I much enjoyed this. All of the angst. I'm very pissed off about that ending, but it's fine. I will most definitely be picking up the next book and crying. Yes, this is how I am. This is what I feel now. It's not quite like the Clockwork Prince ending. Clockwork Prince ending is similar in the sense that there's like that miscommunication kind of going on, but my heart broke when, you know, Will told Tessa that he didn't love her, that she was just like a fling to him or something. Like, my heart absolutely just tore in pieces. But this, I'm just like, why? Like, it was just timing. Like, Cordelia just happened to see, you know, him and Grace at the wrong time, and he was trying to like get Grace to like stay in the house and like kind of play her for a little bit there. And I just can't. Very, very upset. It's fine. Yes. That is Chain of Iron. Thank you for watching this ridiculously long vlog and being with me for the journey. I had a lot of fun listening to the audiobook and kind of just journaling today. And yeah, I hope this vlog wasn't too all over the place, but it probably is. So I apologize in advance. Yes, so thank you so much for watching. Go check out my Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads in the description down below if you want to get regular reading updates and life updates from me. And, you know, me yelling about how frustrated I am in the future. And I will see you in my next video. So please remember that the story ain't over. Bye!